Hi, my name is Jen. I am an AI-generated avatar being animated with DID then being rendered in Unreal Engine 5. Please tell my creator JSFILMZ to not put cyberpunk lines on my face. I think it's ugly. And also please tell him to stop trying to destroy his RTX 4090 since he's broke AF and will not be able to replace it.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Jay from JSFILMZ. Now in this video, we're going to be generating an AI avatar using Midjourney, and then animating that avatar using DID, and then importing that avatar inside Unreal Engine 5 to be rendered in the sequencer. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with Midjourney. So I already have it open right here. It's just a browser. And what I'm going to do first is show you how you can invite the Midjourney bot to your server, because last time you're like, there's too much going on. The images just kept scrolling down. So what I'll do is show you how you can invite the Midjourney server to your own server so that you're only seeing your images. So here we are in a Discord server. I have just a regular Discord right here called JDog server. I'm going to go to Midjourney. I'm going to go to one of the newbie channels. If you scroll down, this is where you pretty much put your prompts in. And if I go to the top right, if this is not open already, just click on this, show the member list, go to the Midjourney bot, left click that and say add to server. And I'm just going to go with JDog server right now, continue. And I'm just going to say authorize. I'm going to say I'm human. And that's going to authorize that. And I'm going to close this. If I go now to my server, you're going to see everyone welcome Midjourney bot. So now I can actually put my prompt in here. So what I'm going to do, again, there are many ways you can do your own prompt. There are many ways, keywords you can use. But I'm just going to go ahead and simply type something in here. But basically what we're trying to do is get that girl that you saw in the beginning of this video. So I'm going to start with imagine, like everything. And it's going to say prompt. I'm going to say realistic. I'm trying to say, oh no, there's two T's in there. Cinematic lighting, and I'm just gonna put dash. You can try V4 or dash Q2, but V4 this is the newest version. So yeah, we'll go ahead and try this here and then wait for it. Okay, so here we are. It generated this for us. I'll go ahead and click it. Now this one looks good right here, but you can see that her hair is kind of covering her face. I really do like the chair just like this, because I'm going to do something similar in Unreal Engine. It's going to be easier for me to key this out instead of keying somebody like this right here. So what you want is like a clear separation between the backdrop and the actual character itself. So this one is good also. It's not really not blocking too much of her hair. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and upscale the first one. And like I said, U1 is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll upscale the first one. And this is going to go ahead and make that a little bit bigger for us. And we can try to see if we can use this one right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and check this out. I'm going to click on this. And I think this will work. I'm going to go ahead and try this. And if it doesn't work out, obviously I'll just fast forward to that video. But let me go ahead and try this. We're going to go with this. So I'm going to click this right here and say open in browser. And what I'll do is I'll right click and I'll just say save image as. And I'm just going to save it somewhere. I'm just going to say sun. I'll just save it in the desktop is fine. So what we're going to do next is take this image and take it in Photoshop so we can remove the backdrop and replace it with a green screen or a blue screen. So I have Photoshop open already. So I'm going to go to file, open. And again, this is not a Photoshop tutorial. I'm just going to go open this up right now. And what I'm going to do is duplicate this, Control J. I'll hide that background. And I'm just going to remove basically this background here. Okay, so this is what we have now. And what I'll do is I'll create a new layer. Again, this is not a Photoshop tutorial, by the way. So I'm just going to layer, okay. I'm going to put that below. And we're just going to fill it with a color, right? So paint bucket tool. What we'll do is I'll create a green by just going 0 to 55 0. It's kind of like simulate a green screen, so that looks good. All right, and when that's done, I'm going to say Control Shift E. And that's going to go ahead and combine all of our layers there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and export this as a PNG. And now we're going to go to the DID website, and I'm going to say create a video. Again, big thanks to Creative Studio. They gave me a couple more credits so I can play around with this a little bit more. I'm going to go to add, and we're going to find that avatar we created. And then I just did a quick script right here in Notepad, RTX enabled Notepad, by the way, mind you. And I'm just going to change this around. So, and let's go ahead and take a listen.
Hi, my name is Jen. I am an AI-generated avatar being animated with DID then being rendered in Unreal Engine 5.
All right, so that's it. Next, what we're going to do is say generate video. and I'm just going to say generate video. This is going to take 2 credits. It's 26 seconds long, and this is going to go ahead and do its thing. All right, so here's the video. I'm going to press play.
Hi, my name is Jen. I am an AI-generated avatar being animated with DID then being rendered in Unreal Engine 5. Please tell my creator JSFILMZ to not put cyberpunk lines on my face. I think it's ugly. And also please tell him to stop trying to destroy his RTX.
That is insane. So I will download this now. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to import that in DaVinci Resolve, and we're going to key out that green screen and then import it in Unreal Engine. I'm just going to take that file and I'm just going to say don't change. So here we are. We have that file now, that video file in DaVinci Resolve. And I'll just say edit. And I'm going to drag and drop it into my scene here. So what I'll do is I'll go to the effects and just go to open effects, 3D keyer, I'll drag and drop it there, go to effects. Next, what we'll do is go to open effects overlay and then just pretty much choose a color, select that. That looks pretty good. Again, you can mess around with it a little bit more. Sometimes I get a better result with HSL. I can go ahead and despill it a little bit more, maybe like 0.5. And we're just going to mess around with this here. Let's go with a black clip. Oh, I clipped just a little bit. We do have the pre-filter. Clean it just tighter a little bit. That's cool. I mean, that looks a lot better already. Put a blur in it if you want. And again, this is not like a DaVinci Resolve tutorial, so bear with me here. I'm just kind of showing you how this could be done. All right, so we have that, and I can even turn up the despill to like maybe 0.6. So that's pretty much it here in DaVinci Resolve. What I'm going to do next is export her in EXR. So I'm going to go to deliver. Okay, so for the format, I'm going to go with EXR. I'm not going to change any settings in here. I'm just going to say 1920 by 1080. The video that comes out of DID is 25 frames per second, so I'm just going to have to go ahead and use 24 for now, although I did talk to them, and maybe they can consider changing, 30 frames per second or 24 frames per second just to give you more options. So we'll see what happens there. I'm just going to say full EXR, and this is going to actually export the alpha. Make sure this is checked. If not, you're going to get a black background. So I'm going to go ahead and then name this girl, add to render queue, and this is going to now render this. So here we are in Unreal Engine 5.1. This is a little VTuber apartment kind of scene. What we'll do is I'll create a new folder in here, and I'll just say girls. And again, I'll make sure that our plugin is enabled for this because you are going to need the new plugin for the EXR. So edit, plugin, and I'm going to say EXR. And it's called the Image Sequence Media Player. Make sure that is good. I'm going to go close this out. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is right-click in that folder. I'm going to say Media, and I'm going to say Image Media Source. And I'm just going to name this girl, double-click that. I'm going to change this to 24 frames per second. And for the sequence path, we're going to click on this 3-dotted thing, go to Desktop, and we're going to look for that folder, S1. Click on the first file, press Open, and Save, Minimize. And if I drag and drop this now into our scene, we're going to get a nice little plane here. Okay, so once that's done, if I now go to Simulate, you're now going to see our character in the scene, which is amazing. All right, so like I said earlier, we're going to add her into the level sequencer. So to do that, I'm going to create one, add level sequence, girl talk, and I'm just going to add that here, which is good because now I can actually go ahead and press play here, and now she's going to animate. Now, our aspect ratio is a little bit off, but that's an easy fix. We're just going to go to that plane, make sure that girl is selected, and then what I'll do is unlock this here and change this to 1.78 so we can get that 16:9 aspect ratio. And again, next, we're going to create a camera. So now I have a camera in there. So what I'll do is I'll kind of frame it so it looks a little bit better. And I'm going to move this plane back some. Again, we're just trying to look at the scale here so that, it would kind of look like she's actually in the scene here, right? And what's cool about doing it this way is that since we have a physical camera in here, we can actually rack focus. So if I go all the way to the left, we're going to have some depth of field in here whenever I change this. So now if I go to the character and I go to the material, double click this material, and I'm going to go to the hierarchy and go to that media plate. I'm going to click on this right here, and I'm going to say right here, DOF. We're going to say before DOF. We're going to change this. Press save. By changing that, we're actually changing the depth of field. As you can see, she's actually part of the scene. She blends in a little bit better. And additionally, I know some of you were asking me, how can we change the brightness, so on and so forth of this character? Well, I'm going to make a shorter video of this, but for the sake of this video, I'll show you this right now. I'm going to click on the girl now, and we're going to go to the material. So what you're going to do after this is click on this browser right here, this little eyeglass, and that's going to take you to that folder. Now be very careful because you're actually changing your engine plugin files at this point. And what you need to do is right beside the media plate, there is a M Media Player CC. That CC stands for color correction, as far as I know. So again, to do that, I'm going to double click right here. And now what I'll do is I will take this and I'm going to change the parent to that CC. As you can see, she got brighter. But that's okay, because what I can do now is actually save that. And now I can enable 3 things. This is pre-built. Epic went ahead and created this for y'all. So I will go ahead and kind of just decrease that exposure to maybe -3. This will give you a little bit more control. If you want to change, the color a little bit, you can. You can change brightness and contrast. If it's too bright or too dark, you can mess around with it like this. But that being said, that is how you change the brightness and contrast. I know a lot of y'all were asking me how to do that here in Unreal Engine 5. So there it is. So press G now, and that's going to hide it. And again, I'm just going to play this real quick. That's so cool. I'm going to press Control and zoom out, and I'm just going to drag this all the way to 750 just to make sure that we're getting everything here. And I think I'm going to do a little rack focus here. So in the manual focus distance, I'm going to put a keyframe there, and we're going to start with her kind of like out of focus, like so, and then go move up like 48 frames, and then I'll kind of put her in focus. I'm pretty happy with that right there. So now if I press play, so if I go to 0 and press play, that's a little bit too fast. So let me go ahead and extend that a little bit more. Go to 0. And this is going at 30 frames per second. So let's go ahead and change that to 24. That's pretty cool. This is crazy. So that's pretty much it for this video. I really hope that you watching this will spark some ideas on how you can use this in your production or in your videos. This right here is just crazy. And as you all know, I play with a lot of new technologies, but my favorite part of doing all of this is when I start combining things. I just combine Midjourney with DID, with Unreal Engine, with Photoshop, with Resolve. This is available to all of us. This is just, honestly, this is so freaking cool to me that I'm able to do this right now. Well, that's pretty much it. That's all I got for y'all today. If you haven't done so, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to reach 100,000 subscribers this year. At 80,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing another short film competition where I'm going to be giving away 2 Face Good mocap helmets. All right, that's it. Peace out.